Every MMA fan has a good fight finish on their mind that they can't shake. Whether it's a knockout or submission, all fans have a preference for their favorite fighters. Today, we've listed 6 of the most praiseworthy UFC finishes of all time. Which fights will make it into our list? Stay tuned to find out if you catch your favorite finish. For 6th place, we've got one of the most thrilling and unexpected finishes in MMA history. Frank Mir's incredible performance in the octagon at UFC 140 debunked all misconceptions about the fighter's strength and ability. Who did he fight against? Mir was put against one of the finest submission UFC champions of all time, Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira. Everyone was 100% sure that the outcome would be as always, Nogueira ending the night with a mind-blowing submission win. However, Mir proved all of them wrong that day. What happened in the cage? We'll tell you. As soon as the match began, Antonio began swinging left and right with full force. Mir didn't have a chance to register anything other than the opening bell at that moment as he lay on the ground, only a minute into the fight. How did Mir gain control of the fight? While Frank tried to gain composure and stability, he availed a swift chance at going at Nogueira when he was preparing to put him in a guillotine choke. In a matter of seconds, thanks to his quick reflexes, Mir turned the fight around by securing the top position and locking the big nog. Frank gifted Antonio 2 things that night: a broken shoulder and his first submission defeat in the big nog's entire UFC career. We're sure winning against Nogueira, who had a 33-6 record at the time, wasn't an easy task. For Mir and his fans, it was a night to remember. Moving on, we're excited to announce the fight finish that ranks 5 for us. Ever since his first tussle with McGregor in 2014, Poirier has been waiting for this moment to come, and it finally did. At the Etihad Arena in Abu Dhabi took place Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor's rematch after 6 long years. How did the highly anticipated fight go? It started with McGregor immediately getting all up in Poirier's face as soon as the bell went off. However, Dustin beautifully tackled and took Conor down in only 30 seconds after the brawl began. What happened next? Determined more than ever, McGregor made his way back on his feet and the two fighters engaged in multiple shoulder strikes. How much time was left? With only 3 minutes remaining on the clock, the tension was through the roof as Conor managed to land a few knees before freeing himself of Poirier's lock. What about the second round? Poirier started strong and swiftly and went for McGregor's legs. Surprisingly, the Irish fighter maintained his punches and impressed the crowd with his agility. No doubt, McGregor put up a great fight against his lightweight rival. However, Poirier stunned his opponent with powerful shots and ended the night by making sure McGregor was knocked out in the second round. What did he have to say about his win? Dustin revealed that he was happy to see all of his hours of immense training and hard work resulted in him securing a spectacular and memorable win. Number 4 on our list is the fight that Randy Couture wishes everyone would magically forget about. Randy, the natural Couture, made a big name for himself in the Ultimate Fighting Championship by ending up in the prestigious Hall of Fame. The fighter walked into UFC 129 with an impressive 19-10 record. However, things didn't go his way that day when he stepped into the cage. Who was his opponent? That night, Couture fought against Lyoto Machida, a great fighter with a 16-2 record and exceptional counterpunching abilities to his name. What happened in the octagon that day? Don't worry, we'll tell you right away. It started with Machida playing it safe and keeping out of Couture's range for a while. However, as soon as the second round neared, Machida struck Couture and ended the night with a finish that no one in the UFC had ever seen. It took a split second for the fighter to swiftly land the strongest crescent kick known to man right in Randy's face. What was Couture's state? With one tooth flying in the air, Couture had hit the floor knocked out cold. Machida's mind-blowing crescent kick showed how the fighter made use of his sharp mind and moves to secure a title shot and end a legendary champion's career all in the same night. It was a brilliant finish indeed. However, assuming as all sounds, we don't blame Randy Couture for wanting everyone to forget his most humiliating UFC loss ever. Now, at number 3, Jiří Procházka brutally knocks out opponent Dominic Reyes. All MMA fans know how brutal the combat sport can get at times. The marketing teams at UFC promote events in such a way that people are conditioned to believe there's nothing wrong with rooting for two people knocking the daylights out of each other. Moving on to the third fight on our list, it's one of the nastiest knockouts in MMA history. Czech champion and light heavyweight contender Jiří Procházka slammed Dominic Reyes in the octagon on May 1st, 2021. How did the events of the night lead up to Procházka's win? As soon as the bell was heard, Reyes started on a stronger note, keeping an impressive southpaw stance. It took a while for Procházka to get comfortable in the cage and find his range. Upon doing this, Jiří began raining down the hardest punches on his rival. How did Reyes tackle this? The fellow fighter was able to slow down Jiří for a while with a takedown, but Procházka recovered rather quickly from it. The fight only grew more bloody and intense from here onwards. How did the second round go? Reyes made made sure to avail every opportunity to throw a punch at the Czech fighter. After several takedown attempts, Dominik put Prochazka in a guillotine choke, which didn't last long. After his escape, Jiri used his right elbow to hurt his rival and did a dramatic spin to put Reyes down by striking him with his left elbow, resulting in a nasty knockout. Next, Anderson Silva makes history at UFC 126 with a champion kick. Moving on, securing second place, we've got one of the finest UFC finishes of all time. We're extremely jealous of all the diehard MMA fans that got to witness the jaw-dropping moment in the flesh. The event of UFC 126 consisted of the iconic Anderson Silva knocking his opponent Victor Belfort out with a rare yet powerful move. After relishing in the glory of his courageous comeback match against Chael Sonnen, Silva was a force to be reckoned with. The brawl with Belfort only confirmed that Silva was one of the most dangerous champions any UFC fighter could find themselves in the cage with. How did the memorable match progress? We'll tell you. Silva started slowly in a cunning manner, making sure Belfort fell in his trap, and he did. The rival came at Anderson high on adrenaline and swinging great shots left and right. What happened next is bound to shock you. Silva made sure Belfort was right in the middle of the octagon to proceed with a brutal front kick, resulting in his rival hitting the floor. The fight was stopped at 3 minutes 25 seconds of the first round, after Belfort was knocked out by Silva's farewell punches. Even though this was Belfort's third knockout loss in his entire UFC career, the insane front kick by Silva garnered enough attention to skyrocket the careers of both of these respected UFC fighters in the MMA world. And at number 1, Chris Barnett makes UFC history with his first fight at Madison Square Garden. As amazing as all the knockouts and submissions throughout this list have been, Chris Barnett is here to take the crown, and rightfully so. Barnett delivered a phenomenal performance and proved to be victorious in his first UFC brawl. Who did he fight against? Barnett tussled with Guyan Villante for a heavyweight fight at UFC 268, respectively, on November 6th, 2021. How did the match start? Both fighters started with marvelous kicks. This went on for a good 5 minutes at the beginning, building the excitement in the crowd. What about the second round? The same antics were observed at the start of the second round until Barnett suddenly got into position and landed a spinning wheel kick right in Villante's skull. No wonder why everyone calls Barnett Beast Boy. The spectacular kick and the swarm of strikes that came towards Guyan made it clear that Barnett had won the match. How did Chris feel afterward? The happy winner demanded cheers from the enthusiastic Madison Square Garden crowd. He was over the moon and even did a victory dance as he stepped out of the octagon. We love how his first UFC win was such an iconic and memorable night for everyone. That's a wrap for this video. We hope you enjoyed it. What was your favorite UFC finish from our list? Is there a fighter you were hoping to see praised along the way? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching.